So we're almost halfway through 2024. Where the actual did that go? Here are my top 5 shows of the year so far. These are anime that started airing this year, so as amazing as they are, unfortunately there will be no Free Ren or Apothecary Diaries. Those were continuations from 2023. Also, little reminder, I have not watched every single show under the sun this year, so make sure to leave your top 5 in the comments down below. 100% your list will not be the same as mine. Anyway, without further ado, in no particular order, number 5 is, with no surprise, Delicious in Dungeon. Absolutely fantastic characters. I love Free Ren, but I gotta admit, I fell in love with these 4 from episode 1. I can't really put my finger on why Dungeon Meshi just works so well for me. But now that I'm saying that to myself, I think it's probably because it combines every aspect and genre of anime that I personally fell in love with. It's got my favourite Studio Trigger animating it. It's got that chill vibe of like laid back camp, but also the seriousness and violence that comes with some much more intense fantasy series. Yet it also has comedy not unlike Konosuba in my opinion, and also just sprinkles in that cooking anime that reminds me of the series I used to binge when I first got into it. Things like Restaurant to Another World, Isekai Izakaya, or even the fantastic cooking that shows up in like every Studio Ghibli film ever. It's just that laid back vibe I love to wind down, but also keeps me engaged with a much more serious story underneath. It's not some generic power fantasy which gets like 5 copies of every season, but something truly unique, and I wish I jumped on the manga hype like last year when people were telling me how good it was, because now I can't seem to get my hands on any copies. I'm already glad to see that on the day of the last episode of the series they've already announced a season 2. Absolutely love Delicious in Dungeon. At number 4 we have Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. Now, I've already made a video about this show when it first started airing, and I'm proud to say that since then this show just keeps me so engaged, and it has kept that standard it set initially. Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night excels at being an original story by just trying something new. I'll always grant extra points for the original shows because they take risks. A lot of the time it doesn't pay off. Wonder Egg priority, but I will always appreciate the risks taking. Instead of just being another flavourless, boring copy-paste with no real character, Jellyfish does so well of exploring a full range of human emotion, which manages to do that while still being a cute girls do cute things show. If you're a creative person, you will find something relatable in the show, be it the struggle of being an artist or the sheer glee when you are appreciated and recognised for the art that you create. Definitely, if you haven't already, check out Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. It's a banger. At number 3 we have Go-Go Loser Ranger. If you're like me and you grow up with Sentai, mainly Power Rangers, or even you like stuff like Kamen Rider, this is an absolutely great spin on that genre. It's from the POV of a generic henchman, and it also weirdly has a little feel of the series The Boys to it, in the sense that the heroes are actual real dicks and only put on a facade that they are some sort of benevolent heroes, when in reality they are absolutely horrible people. It's a real dog-eat-dog world in this show. The villains hate the heroes, and even the trainee heroes want the heroes gone and will happily backstab their way to the top to become rangers themselves and get all the clout that comes with it. It's so rare nowadays to see Sentai stuff, especially in anime and manga form, and this show just really scratches that itch for me. So yeah, if you want Power Rangers mixed with the boys, go watch Go-Go Loser Ranger. It's an absolute blast. At number 2 we have Sandland. I never grew up with anime like Dragon Ball, etc. If you know me, my whole thing is I didn't really get into anime and much later in life. I'm not counting Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, because let's be honest, everyone watched that, and as a kid you don't really see that as Japanese shows. You just think they are cartoons, American cartoons. So what I'm trying to say is rest in peace Toriyama. You are one of the GOATs. You are absolutely one of the greatest of all time, and you've inspired hundreds if not thousands of creators, and you also created one of the biggest, maybe the biggest anime and manga series of all time with Dragon Ball, but I've never seen it, so this is coming from a non-fan of Dragon Ball or Toriyama stuff, so this is very much an unbiased, and I will not glaze Sandlands like a lot of Dragon Ball fanatics do. I just generally liked the series. The art style mainly, the story is not GOAT tier, but it's fun enough. And from what I read from Toriyama fans online is that this series was short-lived and was never meant to be anything particularly earth-shattering. Apparently, if it's true, Toriyama drew a tank and he thought, hey, that's pretty cool, and just made it into a whole series for himself. If that isn't a flex, I don't know what is. That you can just create a series from one drawing, and I really do respect that. I like that the story isn't serious, it never tries too hard. It might just be because it's Toriyama, but it does have a bit of an old school feel to it. You know, the characters are obviously very Dragon Ball looking because that is just his style, but the setting also feels a bit like Trigun to me. It really does just sort of bring that nostalgic feeling of like late 80s, early 90s anime, but in a weird way, this old feeling series still feels 100 times more unique and more fresh than some of the stuff studios churn out today. It actually has character, uniqueness, and it's got flavour. Last but no means least is Train to the End of the World. Like I said with Jellyfish, original anime always get a free pass in my book. They are great watches because you don't know what to expect or what's going to happen next, and this show really takes that dial and flicks it right up to 11. So much so half the time I don't even know what's going on. Humans are animals now, mushrooms are growing out of people's asses, and 5G towers f***ed up the planet, and at the end of the day some cute girls are still doing cute girl shit on a train this time. It might not be everyone's favourite, but damn, is it original, and I am here for it. Anyway, that's my top 5 anime of 2024 so far as of the beginning of June. Let me know what your favourites are so far. I'll probably make one of these again in December time when we've had the other half of the year. Until then, make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate you all watching this video, and I'll see you all next time.